Word from the Lord. Just for a few moments, we're going to talk about how to avoid faith failure. I believe in every life, somewhere or another, there's been a faith failure. Not that so much that we fail faith or faith fails us, but circumstances come. And when circumstances come, it's a test of our faith. You know, it's like stretching a rubber band. It's like putting something to a test. And when we put our faith to a test, and Satan does that, and he does a real good job at that. When he does that, sometimes our faith actually fails. But how do you avoid that? How can I avoid a faith failure? I want you to just bear with me just for a few minutes. In the text, I want to read something, because we know and understand that once faith fails, sometimes it takes a long time to build it back. It takes a long time to go in and make it broad and broaden it up and make it back strong again. It's interesting. In Matthew chapter 8, 23 to 27, the Bible reads, "And when he was entered into the ship, his disciples followed him." Talking about Jesus here. 24. "And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, inasmuch the ship was covered with waves, but he was asleep." Jesus was asleep in the ship. 25. "And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he said unto them, Why are you so fearful? Why are ye of little faith? And he rose, and he rebuked the wind and the sea, and there was a great calm." 27 is the one we like. But the men marveled, saying, What manner of man is this? Even the wind and the sea obey him. Now, Jesus was asleep in the ship, but they awake him, just like the text says. But when Jesus had already been sleeping, he's sleeping and he's doing well, he's on the ship with his disciples, those that should be strong like us, those that should have it together. Now, he asked them a question. What's the problem? You know, why do you have such little faith? What's going on here? They had a faith failure. When the storm come over and got into their ship. When the storm get over into your house. You know how it is when you're talking about somebody else's house? When all the problems are over there and you say, hey, I'll pray for you. Hey, just hang in there. But it's different when the storm is in your house. You see, when your car stops running, when you don't have enough money to make ends meet, or when they come to turn your lights off, there's a difference. Now the disciples, they're in the ship, but the ship now is in the middle of a storm. Have you ever been in the middle of a storm? You know, faith doesn't fail when you're on top. Faith doesn't fail when everything is running smooth. The test of faith, that's when faith fails. Now, Jesus is actually, a little bit upset with them, because he's saying, now look here, there's a problem here. Why is your faith failing? You're supposed to be mature, and you're supposed to be strong. Why is your faith failing? Just three little things here out of our text. One, number one, don't forget what God has done for you. Don't ever forget what God has done for you. When a storm comes, let me tell you something. Satan is smart. He wants you to blind you for what God has done. Because you can look back, when you look back and you say, no, God has already done too much. I know he'll bring me through this. But what he does, he blinds you. Once he blinds you and you can't see anything but the storm, what do? You begin to fear. You begin to doubt. So the first thing, if you're going to avoid a faith failure, is to just remember what God has done for you. Remember where he has brought you from. Now, second point is this is only disciples in us as we are disciples. Don't forget, God wants you to succeed. God wants you to succeed. He didn't put you in a storm so you can fail. Oh, God put me in this storm because he knows that I'm going to fail. No, he doesn't put you in something that why he knows you're going to fail. It's the devil. Believe me, God wants you to succeed, but it's the devil putting you up against a test just to see if you're going to say, I can't make it. Because if Satan wants your faith to fail, it's God that wants your faith to increase. So now let me tell you a little story here. When you start talking about faith, when you start talking about holding on to your faith and you want to succeed, the one thing that keeps a person from succeeding is when they have a doubt in their going forward. When you have a doubt in your going forward, you're already lost. Because you're doubting whether you can make it or not. God wants no doubt. He wants you to succeed. That's why he's actually angry with the disciples here. Why y'all so fearful? I want you to see. You shouldn't have to wake me up. Why are you waking me up? You know, why are you doing this when I know you should have enough faith to overcome the storm? And lastly, this is what I like. You know, don't forget in the text. Don't forget that God is always with you. Don't ever forget. Whatever you're going through, whatever is happening, God is always there. Don't you remember, when he said, I'll never forsake you, I'll never leave you, I'll always be right there. I'll always be by your side. How is it that his disciples, Jesus down on board, and they forget all about that God is there till the storm hit, and they ask him, don't you care about us? We're going to perish out here. We're going to fail out here. Well, no, you're not. It's because you just have little faith. I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. Let me leave you with this. God will never leave you. God will never forsake you. He wants you to succeed. But you have to remember when you're going through something, what he's already done for you. And he didn't bring you this far to leave you. And I guarantee you that. Y'all be blessed.